Hello, everyone. I never thought I'd be writing this, but here I am. I, 22 male, am currently deployed overseas and working through a very painful and complicated situation involving my wife, 19 female, who I'll refer to as A. We got married last year, just a month before I deployed. We met earlier that year while I was still a specialist in the Army. When I picked up sergeant 5 months later, we knew the Army's 1-year timeline for dating to marriage due to rank difference would fall during my deployment. So we decided to move the wedding up. I got us a house, furnished it, and gave her full access to the car and home while I was gone, so she'd have stability and something to build on while I was away. The first few months were relatively smooth, even though the distance was hard. That changed early this year. It started with a strange conversation one morning. Due to the 8-hour time difference, I usually text A and expected a reply hours later. But this time, she responded instantly. I asked why she was awake, and she casually said she was in a parking lot at a burger place at 1 a.m. with a guy in her squad. We'll call him B. Apparently, he had an accident with a generator at work, and she drove him to the ER. She said she didn't feel safe being alone and decided to hang out with him for several hours, all the way until 1 or 2 a.m., knowing they had formation early that morning. That alone raised red flags. But over the next few weeks, A continued to hang out with B regularly. Late nights, solo outings, and events I was never told about until afterward. Despite me clearly expressing discomfort, she insisted he's just a friend and brushed off my boundaries. The problem? B is not a respected person in our unit. He has a history of shady behavior, and even his own wife, also deployed at the same time as me, has had issues with him. Several people around the company, which includes my close friends, my leadership, and even A's leadership, all noticed their inappropriate behavior and submitted anonymous complaints about it to our 1SG, who didn't immediately spring into action. Instead, our company 1SG sat back, observed, noticed the behaviors, and then took action. Eventually, their chain of command separated them. She was moved to another platoon. They were both counseled and instructed to stay away from each other. I only found this out because A's squad leader's husband, I hope that's not too confusing, LO, everything gets explained, called me to ask if I was friends with B. When I said no, he told me everything he knew, and it lined up with the rumors I had already been hearing. Things proceeded to keep snowballing. I found out from our property manager that a red-orange BMW, B's car, was parked in my driveway while I was actively deployed. It was there long enough for the HOA to complain that it was hanging into the sidewalk and posing a hazard. I drive a blue SUV and A drives a gray sedan, so there was no mistaking whose car it was. I asked A about it and got no real answer. Then, someone else in our company told me that his wife, who knows A, saw B driving that BMW again, and he had a girl with him who looked exactly like A. Curly hair, glasses, same build. Again, his wife is deployed overseas, so who else would it be? All the while, A kept dodging one major request. Before we married, A proposed an infidelity clause in our prenup. It stated that if either party cheats with proof, they must fund the divorce for both sides. I immediately agreed because I knew I'd never cheat. But months into the deployment, I realized I never got a copy of that clause in the digital paperwork. I asked A for it on March 29th. She promised to send it. 4 days went by. Nothing. I asked again and again. Over 2 weeks passed and still no clause. She started dodging me with excuses like my attorney says the prenup isn't enforceable, or I don't trust you not to do something behind my back. I kept reminding her that if it's not enforceable and she has nothing to hide, why not just send it? Her hesitation only made my suspicion grow. The timing of everything, Her behavior with B, the car at the house, the eyewitness account, and the delay with the clause all point in one direction. To make things worse, her dad tried to manipulate me into sending him money to fix my car about 5 months after promising he'd do it for free when I deployed. Once I told him about the problems between me and A, he didn't offer sympathy or concern. He just asked for B's number. Then, after weeks of silence, tried to offer help again, but only if I paid him. Every red flag in this situation is waving. I'm at the point where I'm no longer chasing the truth for revenge or punishment, but I just want clarity. I want to know what I was really up against. But what I'm learning is this: people who have nothing to hide don't act like they're hiding something. Silence and deflection often say more than words ever could. I'm working on moving forward slowly but surely. I'm not home yet, and legal conversations are still ongoing. But I wanted to share my story to ask, has anyone else dealt with something similar while deployed? How did you handle it? What would you have done differently? Thanks for reading. Any advice or insight would mean a lot.